Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Brent Brookhouse. I'm on the phone with Ethan Page. This is episode 31 of the Bitter Boys Club. Let's do podcast. How's it going, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm about to do podcast.
Yeah, welcome to podcast. We are here to do it. So what's going on, man?
You know, living life, being a dad. That's pretty much it right now. Getting ready for a big wrestling weekend coming up. I leave tomorrow morning. You know, I always enjoy when we leave the podcast last minute. You know, it goes great with my packing and doing laundry, and I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, I had to postpone a little bit because we were having some baby issues. Speaking of baby issues, the baby shit in my beard the other day. So
Wait, what? What do you mean in your beard?
okay, so she had gone a couple days. Definitely needed to get it out. Finally did a big old poop. I assumed we were done. Went to change the diaper. And, they're a mess when you go to change them. And she just did a huge fart and sprayed shit all over, like,
Aw,
my face.
the poor baby. She just needed to go.
I know. And that's, second, at that point, it's just like, yeah, whatever. It got out and I can shower. But, it's still uncool. And she's going to have to live with that when she's like 13, 14, and friends come over.
And you're gonna bring it up?
Oh yeah,
Remember
for
the
sure.
time you pooed on my face?
Oh, I stopped and took a picture before I cleaned up. Like,
I mean, I think that's the right thing to do. That's the right move.
it's absolutely the right move. I mean, for any number of reasons. But yeah, that'll definitely. I should print it out in like 8x10 and just hide it somewhere, like a time capsule. And when she turns 14 or something and has friends over for her birthday, I can be like, hey, by the way, here's the thing, and we'll see how that goes over.
Yeah, I'm sure very well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, daughters love being embarrassed by their fathers. That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's every kid's dream, is to just be absolutely mortified by their dad. So if I can do that, I'll be happy. Hey man, remember last week when I was like, CM Punk's probably gonna win this fight?
Yeah, you were incorrect.
Yeah, that was a bad prediction. That was not good. He got drubbed.
What the hell does drubbed mean?
He got beat up real good. He got punched in the head a lot.
Oh yeah,
It was a
I
drubbing.
I didn't see the fight. I was actually at a show, and I did not expect them to be the opener, which was a little wild for me. I was like, oh damn, opener. But I got kind of like, this is what happened. So do you want to give me like a play-by-play and the listeners for anyone that didn't listen or watch? Sorry.
Okay, basic play-by-play is the fight starts and it's immediately apparent that CM Punk's striking has not gotten any better. He doesn't appear to know how to box at anything resembling a professional level. He threw a lot of kicks that were okay, but defensively he was a mess, so he got punched in the face a lot. Takedowns were terrible. When they did end up on the ground, his jiu-jitsu looked not anywhere near what you'd expect considering the length of time he's been training. Even, back before he tried to become a professional fighter, he was still training, somewhat hobbyish, sure, whatever, but yeah, there was no area in which he looked competent at a professional level. And not just a UFC level, but like any regional promotion, anything like that. Just, it wasn't good. And I assume he's done. I know he's done in the UFC. I mean, I guess they haven't said that for sure, but I cannot imagine any scenario in which he ever fights in the UFC again. I guess if they wanted to let him go and fight somewhere else, they could terminate his contract and he could go fight on some small show, but even that I don't think is worth the effort or time. But yeah, it was real bad. He looked real bad. The basically Dana White, the UFC president, after the fight was mad that his opponent didn't knock him out. Like he was. There were points where Mike Jackson was not even bothering to look at Punk while he was punching him.
Come on.
Oh no, straight up, just like not
So
even.
he was messing with him.
Oh yeah, and he could have finished him, but it looked like he just was having more fun not. So it was worse than the Mickey Gall fight in that respect. Plus, you'd expect some level of advancement in the time between, but it just wasn't there.
And there was legitimately none? That sounds like crazy to me.
Yeah, there really... I mean, nothing that I saw. Like I said, it sounds mean, and I'm not being mean because, I mean, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, but as far as...
Really?
What, Punk being one of my favorite wrestlers?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, and again, the area I'm from, it's like IWA Mid-South territory, so...
Oh, gotcha.
So all the, like the big indie shows that I would go to, those were Punk shows, so...
That makes sense.
And then, I mean, the terrible news, and I can't believe that this is going to hold up, but the LA Times reported today that it did like 150,000 pay-per-view buys, which is nothing.
That's it?
Yeah. I mean, I gotta believe that number is going to go up at some point. Like, that could
How does it just go up?
I mean, the source that gave the LA Times the number could be wrong. There might be... I mean, because it's tricky. You're basically relying on all these different cable companies, pay-per-view companies, whatever, to report in their numbers, and then a lot of the times, like, Dave Meltzer or whoever will kind of extrapolate based on what a couple different places have reported in. And there's no, like... It's always going to be an estimate. There's no way of knowing the exact number unless a company is like public and has to provide that, and the UFC is not a publicly owned company, so... But I mean, LA Times reporting it is a legitimate outlet, so that's a real bad number. So yeah, all around would be a complete flop for CM Punk. And if that number is true, then it also takes away any incentive for the UFC to have any interest in
another fight.
Right, because he's not good. It makes them look bad. It was also weird. The crowd got really into the fight. Like, when it started, there were really loud CM Punk chants. But, like, when he walked to the cage, it was kind of dead, which was surprising considering
Isn't it in his hometown?
Yeah, it was Chicago. So that was just strange.
Yeah, that's weird, man. I wanted him to win because, I don't know, I just find, like, him there interesting. And, you know, like, when he talks about it, he's very passionate. I want him to succeed for those reasons, but man, that sucks.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was, between that and the New Japan show, that was my weekend, pretty much, was, watching those two shows so I could write about them. And New Japan was great. So that's good.
All I saw was GIFs, which is my extent of watching wrestling, but I'm not gonna lie, it did make me want to watch the match and the show.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is, like, the more I think about it, Omega Okada was amazing, probably the best match I've ever seen. But man, Jericho and Naito was right up there. Like, that was just wild.
And so, like, and the results too, like, literally every title changed.
Yeah, there were title changes all over the place. It was, and like almost everything was at the very least very good. So that was crazy. Is there? You're a guy that has. I mean, you've repeatedly said on here you don't watch wrestling. It was a big deal that you made time to watch some of WrestleMania. Is there a point that there is like such hype about a match that you do end up just saying, I'm going to go out of my way to see that?
If I can find a way to get that match put on my phone or something that I can travel with, I have like a bunch of flights this weekend. I would be down to watch it on a flight or on my flight to England, same thing. It's just, I don't know. I'm too lazy to even find a way to get it. I don't want to steal it. So it's just not my thing, really.
All right. So you're not a hype driven guy.
Oh, I am. Like I'll seek something out, but that's a 70-minute match. And I have a child and, stuff that I need to do.
Yeah, I mean, the Osprey match is easy to get in, and that was really good. And Jericho Naito was, like I said, that was outstanding. And that, okay, how weird is it that Jericho just did Greatest Royal Rumble? He has wrestled in New Japan twice. He won the Intercontinental belt there. He's got the cruise coming up with the Ring of Honor and Impact stuff.
And Impact.
Right. Ring of Honor and Impact. So, like,
wild.
Just doing whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And still being really good.
Same with, Rey Mysterio just did Greatest Royal Rumble and the actual Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And then shows up in New Japan looking jacked and trim and as epic as ever.
Yeah, it's just wild. Like,
yeah, man. I love it.
All right, so let's rewind a little bit. We hit my weekend. What was your weekend like?
Dude, every time you ask me this, I'm always like brain dead.
Okay, so
where was I last weekend? Oh, I did the Super Indie.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at, because it also leads right into one of the things people wanted us to talk about. So,
oh, interesting. So, man, it was a great weekend. I ended up in Knoxville, Tennessee, or outside of Knoxville, Tennessee, where I ended up wrestling against my cousin Abyss, also known as Joseph Park, in a tag match. It was him and Crazy Steve versus myself and a wrestler by the name of Devin Driscoll. It was an experience. There was about 600 to 700 people at this high school in a kind of like middle of nowhere town. They were not there to see wrestling. They were there to see their coach, their football coach, wrestle in the main event.
All right. Was the football coach a wrestler, or was this
just
okay?
So I was like all in on this. I wanted to see how it turned out.
I mean, why not?
And I'm not gonna lie, the homie did pretty good.
Good. I mean, that's fun.
And you know what, dude? It was. And the best thing is that I was kind of like giving Myron Reed shit, because they were the opening match and they did everything under the sun. Literally, they did a cutter onto like the WCW style entrance ramp. And I was like, guys, these people are not here to see you. They're also not here to see that. Did you notice how big of a pop a drop kick got? It's because they've never seen professional wrestling before. And look at all these old dudes in the locker room that have to follow you. I'm like, this is okay to take it easy. And I don't mean be lazy. Work hard. But it's okay to not risk your body on a show that, one, no one's ever going to see. And two, this is not going to launch your career. And three, these kids don't know what a diamond cutter is. So you don't need to do 7 of them. And he was like, oh, man, I know. I was like, oh, you're like my least favorite wrestler.
So that's 2 consecutive weeks. First it was Walter, and now it's Myron Reed.
Yeah. So because I love to watch them, but I'm also like, come on. So anyways.
It's the work smart, not hard thing.
We'll get to the Super Indie next, because it'll counteract my argument. So that was that show. We did the main event, a semi-main event, because the teacher was the main event, and it was so much fun, man. Like, I love working with Abyss. It was amazing to catch up with Crazy Steve, because he's Canadian too, and it was awesome because I haven't seen him in years, and then we magically end up on the same show together and magically end up wrestling each other. So it was kind of like a, I don't know, win-win scenario and a very rare thing. So got to catch up with him. He recently got married, and I was very happy for him. He's living in America. It's great. So it was a good experience and good show, and it was a lot of fun. And then we had to drive out to Atlanta for me to catch a early morning flight to Pittsburgh for IWC's Super Indie Tournament.
All right, and how did that go?
Oh, dude. So this is the reverse now of what I was saying to Myron Reed. It was myself versus Joey Janela in the opening round, and I would suggest going out of your way to not only see that match, because I was very proud of it, but seeing the whole tournament. Top to bottom, no joke, one of the best tournaments I've ever seen and been a part of. It was stacked as far as people in the tournament, but there was so much stuff on the show that I would be like inclined to tell people to go out of their way to see it.
All right, and okay, so how does this counteract the other show in terms of?
So the way I was explaining it to Myron about, wrong crowd, wrong show, blah blah blah, and then just so people don't think I'm lazy, like myself and Joey Janela did like 2 dives, a power slam on the apron, a suplex on the apron. Like we went crazy, but that's the crowd that's going to react for it. And this is potentially something that more people will see. And it's a tournament. You want to put your best foot forward in hopes of everyone else doing the same thing. Because I think with the tournament, you can honestly create something kind of special.
Yeah, I'd say that's true. I mean, I've talked about it before, but my favorite fan experience ever was at a tournament. So, yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah, and no joke, like not to blow smoke, because I've been putting this tournament over since we started talking about it, but I honestly think that like this reminded me of a tournament with guys, and honestly, you can exclude my name off this list, but there was guys in the tournament that I think go hand in hand with like the old IWA Mid-South days of like tournaments with hot indie names and breakout stars. Like the tournament had David Starr, who I think is like on the brink of being the top guy on the indies. Jeff Cobb, same exact thing. Joey Janela is the peak right now of independence. Not being signed anywhere, kind of like a rogue wrestler doing his own thing. Anthony Henry, he is on the brink, doing great things with Evolve and freelance wrestling. Myself, I mean, I'm pretty great. And then Jonathan Gresham is one of, if not the best technical wrestler going. And again, like, yes, he's in Ring of Honor, but are they using him properly? I don't know. I don't really pay attention too much, but I don't think he's being used to the potential he has, which is like a lot, because I think he's extremely talented. And like just those names alone, this is a one-night tournament. You're going to see matches that you would die to see just announced regularly, and then here they are just happening throughout the night. And the main event, I don't want to give spoilers, but they went, I think, 40 minutes.
All right.
And not only to add to that, Joey Janela, David Starr, and Jonathan Gresham got to the building at 6:45. The show started at 7 o'clock. The opening match had Jonathan Gresham. The second match had myself versus Joey Janela.
All right.
And
wow.
Jonathan Gresham went 20 minutes.
So, I mean, that's a lot of wrestling in one tournament. Like, just based on the times that you're throwing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know, was that, I mean, filmed for anywhere? I mean, like, as far as...
I know they do DVD on VOD. I think I don't want to promise and say it's on sale, but yeah.
All right. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if they had a distribution deal with, High Spots or Powerbomb or anybody.
Not that I know of. But thanks for that simple segue. Uh,
I'm very
Powerbomb
good
TV,
at this.
you're very good at this. Dude. I'm effing amped up right now talking about the IWC Super Indie. Um, I just noticed that Powerbomb.tv uploaded two old Alpha One shows. One of them by the name of Stage 3, where we ran a show on Super Bowl Sunday against the Super Bowl in Canada. And Luke Harper was super pissed that he had to be on the main event because he didn't want to miss the Super Bowl, but he liked money more. But it had myself against then Kevin Steen and a talented wrestler by the name of Alessandro Del Bruno. And Kevin Steen was a surprise because I wanted to reward the people that actually showed up for the Super Bowl and say, like, hey, you should never miss an Alpha One show. And I've been doing, like, little things like that. Like, I just did it recently with Hacksaw Jim Duggan. It's just it pays off in the end if you respect your fans enough to give them something good when they're least expecting it. But if you want to go, check that out on Powerbomb.tv. Use promo code ALPHA and the number 1, all capitals, and you get 20 days for free. Or if you already have an account, here's my suggestion for a show: Stage 3, Alpha One Wrestling.
Okay, and you can say, like, just stay tuned or whatever, but we talked a couple of weeks ago about your decision that you're having to make on the future of distribution. Has anything been happening there?
We are working on it right now.
Okay.
Literally getting messages on my Facebook chat as we're recording this. It's something that I want right now, and there is an offer on the table. It's just pulling the trigger and making it happen. So we're hoping we can get the numbers right, that it's worth doing for both parties. But I think that there's an audience for our product that's not getting it yet. And I want them to be able to get it very easily accessible. I think there's, like, this is going to sound weird, I think there's fans of Alpha One that don't actually even watch.
I would put myself in that camp for, up until the old shows started going up on Powerbomb. It was, every now and then I would track down a show. I liked what I saw. You had passed shows along to me when we were trying to figure things out with Flow Slam. So, I liked the product, but didn't have an opportunity to see it as much as I would like. So, yeah, I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah, and I think that those fans deserve a chance to see the product. And, like, I understand, like, with the climate of, I don't know, lack of income for a lot of wrestling fans, I don't want to have to force them to have to buy, like we have to, like, I think we went through this last time, but I've run so many towns now and regularly running 2 towns. That's almost 2 shows a month. That's $30 in DVDs or $20+ in MP4s. If they're already paying $9.99 and they get everything, why not do that?
Right. And I mean, we've talked about it a lot, but the fact that you are a storyline heavy company too, which is very rare on the indies. I mean, there's some places that do it or that might have a storyline that kind of runs for a while, but there's not a lot that top to bottom there's reasons why everything is happening, which makes it really hard to follow a promotion that is, that you almost have to see everything to get the full experience.
Yeah. And it's a good thing, but it can be a bad thing too. Like, if people just want to cherry pick the shows, they might be missing a couple nuances and wonder why the crowd is reacting so well, and they're not.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's yeah. So rewinding a little bit, one of the things that somebody sent in, this was, Hey, It's Web on Twitter. said, talk about the stupidity of lame hecklers at shows like the guy behind me that kept yelling jelly rolls at Ethan at Super Indy last weekend. Now, we've talked a lot about lame hecklers and what they do to the show and everything, but I suppose first off, did you even notice whoever that guy was?
No.
Okay, cool. But where I kind of want to
I would hold on. Sorry, before we change this. I was laying in the back playing Pokemon Go because there was literally a Pokestop where I was laying. So I just stayed there the whole night. And while I was there, I'm right next to the curtain. And I don't know what wrestler, and I don't want to put them on the spot because it honestly broke my heart. I put a tweet out about this, but I want to talk about it. He's cutting a promo. He's a heel. His promo, he gives a delivery or whatever, blah, 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 blah. I'm the best. Boo. And as the boos slowly drown out, a fan from the audience yells out, "Don't you work at a restaurant?"
Oh, God. Oh.
And I literally, so I'm laying on, it's like a gymnasium. So I'm laying on a giant crash pad. You know, the one you used to powerbomb your friends on in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm laying on one of those just in heaven catching Pokemon, and I hear this, and I literally sank into it like that movie Get Out.
Ugh.
Dude, my heart exploded. My soul left my body, flew into the crowd, and just shook my head at that fan. Because I was just, oh, dude. And then, to make it even worse, he keeps cutting the promo. Same thing happens. And I think a different fan, honestly doesn't matter who said it, goes, "Shut up and take my order."
Oh my God.
Oh man. I'm my heart just exploded into a million pieces of just sadness for this guy.
Yeah, that's brutal. Because that's not just you're fat or, any of the other lame things that people yell. That is
he's literally saying, "Yeah, you're not better than me."
Right. It's not only are you not better than me, but you have served me food.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, nothing against servers, but when you are portraying a character that is doing the "I'm the best, I'm so much better than you," and somebody can take you down that hard by just pointing out that you have a day job, that's brutal. Oh.
Yep.
Okay, so where my mind kind of went when the question came in about the lame hecklers, I mean, we've talked so much about shitty hecklers and what it does to a show or a match or whatever, but have you seen anything that's been going on with the Dynamite Cup?
So I briefly saw an image with a bunch of excuse me, a bunch of rules for how fans should be acting.
Yeah, it's a code of conduct.
Okay.
Okay, so Dynamite Cup, for people that don't know, it's a charity show. It benefits kids in foster care. And the Tom, who is a listener to the show, he puts it on. There's a lot of stuff in it that's kind of weird in a fun way, like his son, who, God, I hope I'm right on this, but I believe his son was adopted, which is why they do this benefit and everything. His son books a battle royal or a Royal Rumble, I don't remember which one.
Right. Yeah.
So there's fun aspects to it. It's not the most serious thing, but it's a code of conduct that got put out for the show that some people lost their minds about and were saying some horrific things to him. And it's the most simple set of rules that's it's sad that they even have to be said, because it's add to the fun, don't subtract. which basically breaks down to like, don't make fun of people that are there if they don't have your level of knowledge or whatever. Don't harass people. Don't touch people if they don't want to be touched. Watch your language because it's, a charity show for kids. And, don't just take random people's pictures without their consent.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a crazy amount of rules, and it's nothing in there is inappropriate, but some people got so pissed off about this. And I don't know. I just was wondering if you had thoughts on it.
They had an incident, did they not?
That's the thing. I'm not totally sure, and I don't want to guess.
Same. That's why I asked, because I didn't want to assume anything. Okay, so let's not just make things up. Man, I don't like. I saw Brett Lauderdale, is like one of the owners of GCW, tweet out, and this is how I backtracked from his tweet. I went and looked into this code of conduct thing. His was like, GCW doesn't have a code of conduct because all of our fans are grown adults. They don't need to be babysat. Like, whatever, ball. You can look it up if you want while I'm rambling.
Right, I will look it up. But, I mean, to that point, yeah, but the people who go to a GCW show, I wouldn't want them to act like they're at a GCW show at a children's benefit.
No, but he's saying that all their fans are welcoming, no one, and they'll handle it with each other if someone's acting out of turn, and that everyone is the same, equals, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, here it is real quick.
Yeah, let's read it so that I don't sound like an idiot.
So it's 2 tweets. It's actually more than that, but if I have to type up an...
I only saw one.
If I have to type up an actual code of conduct for GCW fans, I will quit the wrestling business. The next was, here's why GCW doesn't need a code of conduct. 1, we are already fully inclusive and always have been. 2, our fans are grown-ups or accompanied by a consenting adult. 3, our fans are capable of handling any disagreements among themselves in a mature manner. 4, we trust our fans. And then later, he, several hours later, he tweeted something about, there are no perfect people in this world. Everyone is flawed. Everyone is a hypocrite in some way or forms. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has regrets. We all deserve to live. Life goes on. Enjoy it while it lasts. And then another thing that was, strongly disagree with the idea that most wrestling fans are some sort of a lower or lesser class of people that need to be supervised or babysat. Not everybody shares the same lifestyle, hobbies, habits, opinions, or feelings. This is called life. We are all equals.
Okay. Is there anything wrong with that?
I don't want to be, I'm not trying to be a dick here, but Schlack wrestles at GCW.
Okay,
and are we familiar with his history at all?
Yeah, hanging out with Nazis and stuff like that, I guess. Right,
and
I just, I used to bartend. I'm not defending him at all. I don't know what he's done or anything about him. I used to bartend at a Hells Angels biker club. I'm sure they did a lot of illegal activity and mistreated many people. So, I don't know. Does anyone actually know the situation?
Well,
was he putting up the freaking, Hail Hitler?
Okay, yeah, there's pictures of him giving the, the Hail Hitler, the Nazi salute.
Okay, well then never mind, forget everything that I just said.
He sold a hoodie at one point that said, it's not rape, it's surprise sex. So, okay, maybe that's in the past, maybe he's changed, maybe he's grown up, whatever. But you could also say that to someone may not feel inclusive, that to someone may not feel like it's necessarily a safe environment.
Agreed.
So I don't understand the need to even comment. It's a charity show. You are a promotion that's put on some relatively big shows. I mean, between like Spring Break and Bloodsport and stuff like that, they're putting on notable large scale shows. It just seems so weird to even bother taking a shot at somebody for doing something that's so minor, so just being
Yeah, but
like,
that's what they got. That's why they are where they are.
right. But I mean, I guess I just don't see, like, what's the point of even saying anything about it?
Everything is buzzwords now, man. Everything is creating attention out of controversy. That's legitimately like every social media thing that's of note right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I just, here's my bigger issue. Okay, so somebody puts something out to kind of put across the message and idea that, hey, first of all, we want this to be a safe environment. There's been problems with people being harassed at shows, whether it's their show or anyone else's show. We're not going to put up with harassment or anything like that. And, you know, watch your language, because it's a kids' charity show. And then Dynamite Cup is not a huge show. It's not like, you know, it's a nice sized charity event that, you know, a lot of people like, but it's not a full-time promotion that's putting on like some of the most talked about indie shows of the year. And it just seems so like, so you put out something saying, hey, treat people with respect, and then to be like, I mean, the tone of it is basically like, fuck you, you baby. We already treat people with respect. Like, it just, I don't know, man. That bad taste.
Yeah,
and
well,
then,
I'm sure their fans are like, yeah.
Well, yeah, and I mean, Janela even piled on, because he said, I'd buy a ticket to sit in the crowd in a Rey Mysterio mask and scream fuck 400 times and see if any of those nerds could kick me out. Probably not.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it just...
That's social media, man.
Yeah, it's just... bums me out that it's like even a mildly controversial thing to... I mean, I guess people just don't like being told, but I mean, I've been at so many shows where they've said, hey, tonight's a family-friendly show, you know, we ask that everyone in attendance watch their language, and then people make a point of yelling fuck or whatever. And it's like, let's not pretend, and I will not say all wrestling fans are any specific way, and I would certainly not say all wrestling fans are, you know, the shit worst people on earth. But some wrestling fans are the shit worst people on earth, and some wrestling fans could use a reminder sometimes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just the whole thing fucking stinks.
All right. I'm not going to argue with you.
And I mean, the other thing is, I mean, Tom's a really good guy. He's the guy that asked us to talk about Disney last week and asked us to talk about Disney again this week.
Yeah, I'll talk about Disney every day of my life.
Yeah, but yeah, he was tweeting out things like after this, like, hey, can I ask a favor? I get that people want to attack me for reasons related to ethics in the wrestling community, but please leave my family out of this. Like the response to, hey, let's not harass people, being, fuck you, we're going to harass you, kind of proves his point.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I agree. I just think that it's sad that it needed to come to him even writing that list. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I don't know, like, I do not know that anything specifically happened incident-wise that was like, ooh, I have to do this, so much as, you know, there's, you know, maybe it was just, hey, I felt like
preemptive.
Right, and that this would make it clear to people who might have had shitty experiences at wrestling shows that this is a cool, safe place to come watch some wrestling, and, you know, you shouldn't have to worry about it because we've already got your back before the doors even open.
Yeah, we have a code of conduct.
And I guess maybe the just officialness of like putting it out there as a written thing, like maybe that rubbed some people the wrong way, but God, I just can't believe that that's a big deal.
Is it a big deal other than what we were just talking about? Like the, what's it called? Like, is it more than the GCW people?
Well, there were a lot of people saying a lot of shit, apparently. I don't see every tweet or DM that he was getting when it happened.
Right.
So, I can't really go far beyond that, but
right.
But yeah, it just, I don't know. Yeah.
No, man, it makes sense. Makes sense. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, and I guess I just wish that people didn't feel the need to, be a dick just because they see something they don't agree with. But that's.
But they don't disagree with it. They do agree with it. Like they agree with the rules.
Yeah, I guess that's what makes it even weirder. Like you agree with it, but you feel like it shouldn't have to be said, but it clearly has needed to be said at times. Like, how many times have you been at a show where they have had to specifically say more than once, family-friendly show, please watch your language?
A couple times.
I've been at 2 or 3 this year. Freelance isn't necessarily a place that's like family-friendly, watch your language, but I've been at 2 freelance shows this year where people have yelled faggot at wrestlers. So it's apparently not common sense for everybody that walks in a door.
Okay, fair enough.
Black Label Pro has had to mention that it's a family-friendly show before. Ironically, at the one that had Faces of Fear against Nick Gage and Jimmy Lloyd, but then before that match basically said, hey guys, if you're not cool with this, duck
Leave.
out now.
Yeah.
But there were times on that show where they had to remind about it being a family-friendly show. Like, it's not like to act like it's common sense is just, it's asinine. We've talked about AIW. You had the guy yelling at you and calling you a faggot.
Yeah.
So, again, not just obvious to everybody how to act like a decent human being.
Okay, fair enough. So you're saying list is fine?
I think the list is fine. I wish we lived in a world where I felt like it didn't need to be said.
Right.
But
that's the ultimate goal, right?
Right, but I also don't think that it's an issue if somebody wants to clarify, hey, this is the environment you're coming into. And it also, like, hey, straight up, if the reason that you go to wrestling is to chant you fucked up or scream asshole at people or to be a giant piece of shit and yell faggot, if that's the reason that you like going to wrestling shows, this isn't the wrestling show to go to. Like, it works both ways. It keeps people away that shouldn't be there, and it also lets people know, hey, this probably isn't a place for you to go if you're still wishing that this was peak ECW.
Yeah.
Which fucking ruined wrestling.
Which would not be able to get any TV time now.
Oh, absolutely not.
That's so funny. Peak ECW. That made me laugh.
So, yeah, man, I could talk about that all day. Let's pivot a little bit for Tom, the good guy that he is. Top 3 best Disney rides
ever.
Just your 3 favorite.
Oh shit.
You get dropped in Orlando.
Does it have to be Orlando?
No, okay, fair enough. You can teleport throughout the world to any Disney park, but you can only ride 3 rides.
Uh, oh man, I don't know. That's so tough. I One of them would be Haunted Mansion.
Yep, that's on my list.
Uh, See, like I wish that I would love to go on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. I haven't yet. I've never even been to Disney in LA.
Nah,
So
I've
that
not been to Disneyland. That's on the list.
Haunted Mansion for sure. When I was in Japan, it was closed down, which broke my effing heart. That one, the Monsters Inc. ride in Japan, and the oh man, the last one's tough because I want to say Indiana Jones.
And that's the
No, no. I'm gonna say Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and I'm gonna go classic Disney with Haunted Mansion. Um, I'm gonna go international for interactive rides with the Monsters Inc. ride. You use a flashlight to try and catch the bad guy, and these like the animatronics and all that are just incredible. And then I'm gonna go with the last ride, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which is a roller coaster, but you also go inside the mine and you see the dwarves kind of working away, and just the setup and every like the presentation of that ride is awesome.
all right. That's good. Haunted Mansion for sure. Oh man, Avatar: Flight of Passage.
See, I haven't done any of the Avatar stuff.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I believe you.
Um, I've only ridden it once, but it stuck with me. Um, oh man, Expedition Everest was so cool when it first opened, and the Yeti actually still moved.
Oh man, yeah, the Expedition Everest is great.
It's still really great, but I was there like right towards when it first opened, and the Yeti still moved before it eventually was cracking all the concrete, and they had to stop actually having it move.
Wait, so
So
there's a Yeti that moves?
yeah, that when you go through the cave, and there's
I
that.
thought it was just the shadow of one.
No, there's a giant ass Yeti.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is after you see the shadow. This is like near the end.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Now it just has a strobe light on it to make it look like it's moving because you're moving, but
Right, right, right.
but it used to like swing its arm and shit.
Oh wow.
So it was a little bit cooler then, but it's still so good. Yeah, I'll just go with those 3 because they're fun, but everything there's great. So,
Cool.
let's see. Do we have anything else here? Um, Thoughts on IHOP changing its name?
Dude, I thought the B was going to be for breakfast.
That would have made the most sense. I mean, because it's not a big jump. It's just being like, hey guys, if you want breakfast, it doesn't have to be a pancake.
Yeah. Like I literally thought someone in the office was like, guys, we don't only serve pancakes, right? Like maybe we should, promote all of our breakfast foods. And someone's like, oh, that's a great idea. Let's change it to IHOB.
Well, and like, I've been to enough IHOPs to know that they don't only serve pancakes, but there's still a psychological thing that if somebody's like, oh, do you want to grab breakfast at IHOP? I'll be like, I don't really feel like pancakes.
Exactly.
So,
But now it's fucking burgers.
right, now it's like, do you want to go to IHOB for breakfast? And it's like, I don't want to eat a fucking burger for breakfast.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't handle it. It was a bad move. It was a bad move that I feel like in 6 months to a year will be reversed.
I don't think this is a thing you just reverse.
You mean like how IHOP isn't a name you change?
Yeah.
You can go back on it.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I don't know, dude. I think that this is like a bold thing that you either go with it or you don't. Like they committed.
I don't know. I mean, New Coke, they changed the Coke formula, and then people were like, "This sucks. We want old Coke back," and they went back, and that's Coke.
That's a product, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a bigger deal than IHOB.
Yeah, I guess so.
Plus, like, how good do your burgers have to be at this point? You did that change instead of just an ad campaign that's like, "Hey guys, House of Pancakes also has burgers." Your burgers have to be like out of this world good.
Yeah, and Denny's has amazing burgers.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had a Denny's burger, but that was like one of those secrets. It's like Portillo's in Chicago, really good hot dogs, but the bacon cheeseburger is like the secret best thing on the menu.
All right.
So there we go. Speaking of Chicago, what's going on this weekend?
Oh, look at that. Good segue. Check out my Twitter, because as this conversation was going on, I posted a video that I edited today, hyping up my match against Eric Cannon. That's going down live tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central Time. I think that's what CDT means. I Googled it.
Central Daylight Time, yes.
There you go. CDT, homie. Powerbomb.tv. You can stream it live, not just for Alpha 1. So use my promo code ALPHA and the number 1. You get 20 days free. You get to watch the 4-year anniversary show, Freelance versus the World 4 live. Myself versus Eric Cannon. Watch the video on my Twitter. Just posted it. But this will be a day later, so, scroll through my timeline and stuff like that. But which means it's on tonight, right?
Yep.
Tonight, live, Powerbomb.tv, check it out. Then the next day, I'm going out to New England All-Star Wrestling, where I'm wrestling Teddy Goods. And then the following day is a match that I've been looking forward to having ever since many years, actually. Ethan Page versus Matt Tremont at What Wrestling in the Providence, Rhode Island area.
All right, so it's a pretty big weekend.
I'm jam-packed.
I might be at Freelance tomorrow, maybe. I just have to figure out if I am able to get through my work quick enough to make the drive.
Hopefully you do.
I hope so too. Let's see where we at. Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you plug the rest of your shit and let's get out of here.
Sure. To watch that video, you can go to my Twitter, which is @officialego, or my Instagram, which I can't figure out how to post a video because I can't save them on my iPhone, but that's okay. official_ego, prowrestlingtees.com/EthanPage. And again, powerbomb.tv, use promo code ALPHA and the number 1, and you get 20 days for free. Check out Alpha 1 Wrestling on there. It's awesome.
And if you are like a hyper nerd, as we both are, I think you have another Instagram people should follow.
I do. It is Multiverse Legends. It's a toy photography, Photoshop, extra nerdy thing on Instagram. And it's gaining some traction, kind of, not really. It's slow and steady.
All right. I am at Brent Brookhouse on Twitter. You can follow my writing at Cageside Seats. I am doing a daily column over there now. This week alone, we've had From Omega's Highs to Punk's Lows, Wrestling is Kinder Than Reality, PCO's Wild Videos Make Wrestling Better, the raging debate over women in New Japan is a mess, as always, and, God, what did I write today? Oh yeah, I'd give Okada versus Omega 7 stars too. So you get daily article from me over there, you get the podcast over there, plus all the wrestling news, live blogs, all that good stuff, and they are the people who make this podcast possible, so go ahead, give them page views, and make sure that you read my articles, because when my page views go up, then my contributions seem a little more important, and then I can negotiate more pay down the road. Beyond that, I think that's it for this week, man. Anything else you want to get in?
That's it. If you're listening to this and you're a promoter, book me. EthanPage@live.ca. Shoot me an email, homie.
Pick a date. What's a date you need to get booked? Let's get that date booked.
Oh, man. Okay, hold on. Let me look through my schedule. Now opening my iPhone notes. All right. So, currently, I am looking for... Well, wait. Let me come back from England first. July 6th, which is highly unlikely. July 13th, which is a Friday. That's probably more likely. And let's just go with that. And you know what? Let's get these booked. August 3rd and 4th.
All right, so if you're listening and you have a promotion in your area you want to see Ethan wrestle at, there you go. Hit them up. Say to book him, and then hopefully they will. And this is the part of the podcast where we just try and increase our future earnings. So
that's right.
31 episodes. Closing in on a year. It's good stuff, man. Let's try to be better next week. Let's keep being better. You guess?
Let's just keep doing it.
All right. Work smart, not hard.
That's right.
All right.
And make sure you go out of your way and see the IWC Super Indie this year. I'm very proud of it.
All right. There you go.
Boom.
Do that. All right. Take it easy, man.
Bye.
It's all